Welcome everyone. Today we begin our journey into the Mahabharata, one of the greatest epics of all time. It is much more than just a story about a war. It is an ocean of knowledge, philosophy, and insights into the complexities of human nature. But here is something important. What we are exploring today is the unabridged Mahabharata, the original nuanced version that offers a much richer narrative than the simplified retellings you may know. This is a version that doesn't reduce characters to heroes or villains, but instead dives deep into the moral dilemmas, human emotions, and philosophical debates that still resonate today. The Mahabharata is often described as an encyclopedia of life, capturing every human experience. It examines the four primary goals of existence: 1. Dharma, righteousness; Artha, wealth; Kama, desire; Moksha, that is liberation. Unlike the Ramayana, which is rooted in idealism, the Mahabharata deals with realism. It explores complex situations where the boundaries between right and wrong blur. For example, should you adhere to truth if it leads to harm? This focus on dilemmas and choices makes the Mahabharata deeply relatable even today. Can you think of another work that not only tells of gods and kings but also challenges you to reflect on your own decisions and values? The Mahabharata belongs to the Smriti tradition, meaning it was passed down orally before being written. It was traditionally attributed to Krishna Dvaipana Veda Vyasa, a sage known for his wisdom and for organizing the Vedas. However, the epic was not composed at one time. It evolved over centuries between 800 BCE and 400 CE, as different authors added layers to its narrative. Originally, the Mahabharata was a shorter text called Jaya, containing approximately 8,800 shlokas. This evolved into Bharata, with approximately 24,000 shlokas, and finally the Mahabharata as we know today with around 80,000 shlokas. Popular myths like Vyasa dictating the epic to Ganesha are not part of the unabridged version but reflect how cultural storytelling has enriched its legacy over time. This transformation mirrors the epic's dynamic nature, absorbing centuries of thought, history, and philosophy. Did you know that critical edition of the Mahabharata, compiled by scholars between 1919 and 1966, highlights these layers, eliminating later interpolations and striving for authenticity? The question is, why the unabridged Mahabharata? The Mahabharata you may know from adaptations into TV serials or abridged versions often simplifies its characters and conflicts. For instance, Duryodhana, usually portrayed as a villain, is also called Suyodhana, meaning noble warrior. The Bhagavad Gita, often viewed as a stand-alone spiritual guide, is deeply contextual within Arjuna's moral crisis on the battleground. The unabridged Mahabharata doesn't shy away from complexities. It includes pro-Kaurava stances, showing that even they had justifiable grievances. Critical perspectives on Krishna, presenting him as a strategist whose actions were not universally admired. This depth makes the unabridged Mahabharata invaluable, not just as a story, but as a lens to examine human nature, ethical dilemmas, and the consequences of choice. So, as we move forward, think of the Mahabharata not as a single story, but as a living document of human experience. In the next section, we will explore its fascinating structure and themes, uncovering how it integrates philosophy, history, and storytelling. Let's continue this journey. The Mahabharata, a timeless epic, is as much a product of its origin as it is of its narrative. Its creation and preservation reflect centuries of cultural evolution and intellectual effort. Today, we will explore its journey from oral tradition to written text, its authorship, and the remarkable efforts to preserve its authenticity. The Mahabharata is part of the Smriti tradition, meaning it was passed down orally and memorized before being written. Unlike the Shruti tradition, which is considered divine revelation, Smriti texts are human authored and adaptive. The composition of the Mahabharata spanned more than 1,000 years, from 800 BCE to 400 CE. During this time, it evolved from a smaller nucleus into the monumental epic we know today. Jaya, 8,800 shlokas. The earliest version focused on the Kurukshetra war and philosophical discourse. Bharata, which has around 24,000 shlokas, expanded to include genealogies and broader narratives. Mahabharata, as we know today, 80,000 plus shlokas, the final form integrating history, mythology, and philosophy. This evolution reflects its role as a living document, absorbing and adapting to societal changes. It served as a guide to life and repository of cultural memory, constantly enriched by oral traditions. This dynamic growth enabled the Mahabharata to resonate with every era, capturing timeless truths while adapting to changing contexts. Let's understand the authorship. Krishna Dvaipayana Vedavyasa. The Mahabharata is traditionally attributed to Krishna Dvaipayana Vedavyasa, whose name carries deep significance. Krishna refers to his dark complexion. Dvaipayana indicates his birth on an island, that is Dvipa. Vedavyasa, a title given to sages who classify and organize the Vedas. Vedavasa played a dual role in the epic. He composed the nucleus and was also a character in the story. Born to Satyavati and the sage Parashara, Vedavyasa fathered Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Vidura, directly shaping the lineage of the Pandavas and Kauravas. However, the Mahabharata acknowledges that it is a multi authorial work, enriched over centuries by poets, bards, and scribes who added their perspectives. One popular cultural myth is Vyasa dictated the Mahabharata to Ganesha, who wrote it down. While absent in the unabridged version, this story reflects the creativity of the oral tradition, emphasizing the epic's larger than life legacy. How did such a massive text survive across centuries? Initially, the Mahabharata was preserved through oral transmission. Sages and bards memorized and recited the text, ensuring its longevity before it was written down. Two significant stages of this transmission are noteworthy. Vaishampayana's recital, that is, Vyasa's disciple Vaishampayana narrated the Mahabharata during King Janamjaya's snake sacrifice, answering questions about his ancestor Parikshit's death. Second is Sauti's retelling. Much later, Ugrashrava Sauti recounted what he had learned from Vaishampayana to sages gathered in the Naimisharanya forest. This frame story structure, with stories embedded within the stories like a Matryoshka doll, gives the Mahabharata its unique layered narrative. This storytelling approach mirrors how knowledge and culture are passed down, adapting to each era while preserving core truths. It is part of why the Mahabharata continues to resonate so deeply. The Mahabharata's preservation owes much to modern scholarship as well, particularly the critical edition compiled by the Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute. Short form is BORI, BORI. The project, initiated in 1999, final critical edition completed in 1966, including Harivamsha by 1970, to eliminate letter interpolation and unify regional recensions into an authentic version. The methodology was comparative analysis of regional recensions, that is Bengal, Bombay and southern versions, inclusion of extensive notes highlighting textual variations. The main achievement produced two editions, a simplified version for general readers, a scholarly version with critical commentary. Modern translators have also played a key role in this. Kishori Mohan Ganguly, 1883 to 1896. He has created first English translation based on regional versions. Manmata Nath Dutt, 1895 to 1905, added broader cultural commentary but lacked critical rigor. Then comes J.A.B. Van Buchanan, 1973 onward. University of Chicago translation of the critical edition into English. Clay Sanskrit Library, 2005 onward, focused on readability but avoided the critical edition. Then comes Vivek Devrai, 2010 to 2014, produced the most comprehensive unabridged translation of the critical edition in 10 volumes, written in modern, accessible English, making the critical edition widely usable today. The origins and authorship of the Mahabharata reveal its evolution as a living document, shaped by centuries of oral tradition and enriched by modern scholarship. Its layered storytelling and diverse contributions make it treasure trove of human experience. In the next section, we will explore its intricate structure and themes, unveiling how its vast narrative is organized. Let's understand structure of the Mahabharata. The Mahabharata structure reflects its vast narrative, encompassing divine myths, philosophical debates, and real-world geography. Its 18 Parva organization, alongside the 100 Parva classification, offers a roadmap through its intricate stories. Today, we will explore this structure in detail, highlighting divine tales, cosmic elements, and connections to real-world locations. Let us understand the organization first. First, the traditional 18 Parvas. The Mahabharata is traditionally divided into 18 major parvas, each with distinct themes and episodes. Let's look at each. First is Adi Parva, chronicles the origins of the Kuru dynasty and sets up the Kurukshetra war. Includes divine stories such as the Astika Parva, that is snake sacrifice, the Sambhava Parva, that is Krishna's birth, and Vyasa's lineage in the Adi Vanshamtarana Parva. Real world geography appears in the Tirtha Yatra Parva, which details sacred sites like Kurukshetra and Prayagraj. Then comes Sabha Parva. It focuses on Yudhishthira's gambling match and its aftermath. Themes of adharma, that is unrighteousness, dominate this parva, setting the stage for the Pandavas' exile. Third is Vana Parva, chronicles the Pandavas' 12-year exile, includes cosmic and divine stories such as Kairata Parva, Arjuna's encounter with Shiva. Then Markandeya Samasya Parva, Markandeya Rishis narrates time cycles and Vishnu's cosmic role. Geography is prominent in the Tirtha Yatra Parva with descriptions of rivers, mountains, and pilgrimage sites. Then Virata Parva. It describes the Pandavas' 13th year in exile, living in disguise. Includes key episodes like Bhima's slaying of Kichaka and the marriage of Abhimanyu to Uttara. Then Udyoga Parva. It narrates the failed diplomatic efforts to prevent war, features cosmic and geographical discussions such as Krishna's peace mission, and mentions the key kingdoms like Hastinapura and Dwarka. Bhishma Parva begins with Kurukshetra war, with Bhishma leading the Kaurava army. Includes the Bhagavad Gita Parva, where Krishna reveals his cosmic form to Arjuna and explains universal cycles. Then comes Drona Parva. It continues the war under Drona's command, includes the tragic Abhimanyu Vada Parva and the climatic Drona Vada Parva. After that, Karna Parva. It focuses on Karna's role in the war, culminating in his death at Arjuna's hands. It includes cosmic elements such as the invocation of the Narayana Astra by Ashwatthama. After that, it's Shalya Parva. Details the final days of the war, includes Bhima's decisive victory over Duryodhana in a mace duel. After that, Sauptika Parva. It describes Ashwatthama's massacre of sleeping Pandava allies, a grim aftermath of the war. After that, Stri Parva. It focuses on the grief of the woman who lost loved ones. Includes the Jala Pradhanika Parva, where Kunti reveals Karna's true parentage. Then comes Shanti Parva. Bhishma, on his deathbed, instructs Yudhishthira of Dharma and governance. Cosmic themes dominate the Moksha Dharma Parva, with discussions on liberation and universal truth. After that, Anushasana Parva. Bhishma teaches about charity and moral duties, ending with his death and ascent to heaven. Then follows Ashwamedhika Parva. It chronicles Yudhishthira's Ashwamedha ritual and Krishna's discourse through Anugita. It includes the philosophical incident of mongoose challenging the validity of rituals. Then comes Ashrama Vasika Parva. Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, and Kunti retreat to the forest, meeting their deaths. Features divine intervention in the Putra Darshana Parva, where Vyasa enables them to see their deceased sons. After that, Musala Parva. It narrates the destruction of the Yadava dynasty and Krishna's departure from the mortal world. And finally, Mahaprasthanika Parva. It chronicles the Pandava journey to the Himalayas in their final quest. And after that, Swargarohana Parva. It is the shortest Parva of Mahabharata. It concludes the epic with Yudhishthira's ascent to heaven and a vision of divine justice. Divine stories are woven throughout the Mahabharata, with gods intervening and cosmic events shaping the narrative. Key examples include in Adi Parva, Krishna's incarnation and Vyasa's divine lineage. In Vana Parva, Arjuna's battle with Shiva and Markandeya's cosmic tales. In Bhishma Parva, Krishna's cosmic form in the Bhagavad Gita. In Shanti Parva, discussions on moksha and cosmic liberation. These tales remind us of the epic spiritual depth and its connection to divine purpose. Cosmic themes appear prominently, particularly in Vana Parva. Markandeya's discussions of time cycles. In Bhishma Parva, Krishna's revelation of universal cycles to Arjuna. In Shanti Parva, philosophical dialogues on cosmic truths and moksha. These stories expand the Mahabharata beyond the mortal realm, emphasizing its universal significance. A real world geography is richly detailed in Mahabharata. Adi and Vana Parvas, pilgrimages to sacred sites like Kurukshetra, Prayagraj. In Bhishma Parva, description of Jambuk Khanda, the earth's continents. Udyoga Parva, mentions of kingdoms like Hastinapura, Dwarka, and Panchala. This alignment with real world locations grounds the epic, connecting its divine and cosmic themes to the mortal world. The Mahabharata structure, from its 18 Parva format to its detailed sub-Parvas, seamlessly blends divine myths, cosmic themes, and real-world connections. It serves as a narrative, a spiritual guide, and a historical record. Next, we will explore its core themes, delving into the timeless questions of Dharma, karma, and human nature. The Mahabharata is not just a story of war, it is a profound exploration of life, duty, and morality. Its themes and core concepts are timeless, resonating across cultures and generations. In this section, we will examine its key themes, unraveling how they reflect human nature, ethical dilemmas, and cosmic truths. First core theme is Dharma or righteousness. It is the central theme of the Mahabharata. It isn't presented as a fixed concept but as a complex, evolving idea. Characters face conflicting duties, illustrating how Dharma depends on context. Examples of Dharma in conflict are Yudhishthira's adherence to truth. He gambles everything, including Draupadi, believing it is his Dharma as a king to honor his commitments. Yet this adherence leads to immense suffering. Arjuna's dilemma in the Bhagavad Gita: should he fight against his own family or renounce violence? Krishna advises that true dharma lies in fulfilling one's duties without attachment to the results. Bhishma remains loyal to the throne even when it is occupied by Duryodhana, representing institutional dharma. Karna stays loyal to Duryodhana out of gratitude, highlighting the tension between personal loyalty and moral righteousness. Philosophical insights: the Mahabharata challenges us to think what is right. It suggests that dharma is relative, dynamic, and requires discernment. Now, here's the question: can one's dharma ever justify actions that harm others? The second core theme is karma. Karma or action is another central theme. The Mahabharata emphasizes the inevitability of consequences, teaching that every action, good or bad, has its repercussions. Karma and free will. For example, Duryodhana's greed, his actions are driven by jealousy and ambition, leading to his downfall. Karna's loyalty to Duryodhana, his choices, though noble in intent, align him with adharma and contribute to his tragic end. Karma Yoga in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna teaches Arjuna the path of selfless action, emphasizing that one should act without attachment to results. This is a key tenet of Karma Yoga. The curses on Dhritarashtra's lineage and the Pandavas are a result of past karmas. The story of Shantanu, Ganga, and their children illustrates how karma from previous lives shapes present circumstances. Here's the question: how much of our lives is shaped by free will versus the consequences of past actions? The next core theme is the complexity of human nature. The Mahabharata presents characters who are neither wholly good nor wholly evil, reflecting the complexities of human nature. Nuanced characters like Duryodhana, often vilified, but he is also a capable leader and loyal friend. He is called Suryodhana, noble warrior, in some contexts. For example, Karna, a tragic hero torn between loyalty to Duryodhana and his personal quest for respect and identity. Bhishma, his vow of celibacy and loyalty to the throne make him an epitome of sacrifice, yet he fails to act against Duryodhana's injustices. Then there are moral ambiguities. Krishna's strategies, such as advising deceit during the war, raise questions about the morality of ends justifying the means. Yudhishthira lies during the war about Ashwatthama's death, which contradicts his commitment to truth. Answer this question: is it fair to judge actions without understanding the circumstances behind them? The next core theme is moksha, that is liberation. The Mahabharata also explores moksha or liberation from the cycle of birth and death. This theme is central to its philosophical discourses. Bhishma's teachings in Shanti Parva and Anushasana Parva, he discusses the path to liberation, emphasizing detachment, meditation, and self realization. Yudhishthira's journey. In the Swargarohana Parva, Yudhishthira's final test involves abandoning attachment, symbolizing the ultimate step toward liberation. His steadfast refusal to abandon a dog, that is the symbol of Dharma by the way, illustrates his commitment to righteousness even at the gates of heaven. Then, cosmic perspective. The Bhagavad Gita elaborates on the eternal soul, emphasizing that liberation comes from knowledge, devotion, and selfless action. The question is: how can one balance worldly duties with the quest for liberation? The Mahabharata also weaves in lesser known but equally profound themes. For example, equality and justice. Vidura, born of maid servant, is celebrated for his wisdom, showing that merit, not birth, determines one's worth. Draupadi's humiliation in the dice game raises questions about women's rights and justice. Then, time and cosmic cycles. The epic describes yugas and their decline, emphasizing the impermanence of life and the inevitability of change. Stories like Markandeya's cosmic visions depict the universe's cyclical nature. Interconnectedness. The relationship between characters and events demonstrate how individual actions ripple through society, shaping collective destiny. Here's the question: how do the Mahabharata's lesser known stories deepen its universal message? The Mahabharata's themes from Dharma and Karma to Moksha and the complexities of human nature offer timeless insights into life's dilemmas. It challenges us to reflect on our actions, relationships, and purpose. Next, we will explore how these themes are reflected in the Mahabharata's philosophical discourses, including the Bhagavad Gita. The Mahabharata is more than just an epic, it is a mirror reflecting the history, culture, and values of ancient India. Its narrative provides insights into society, politics, and ethics while addressing universal human concerns. Let's explore how the Mahabharata connects to history, culture, and philosophy, and why it remains relevant today. Philosophical discourses, the Bhagavad Gita, and beyond. The Mahabharata is a treasure trove of philosophical wisdom, and the Bhagavad Gita, found in the Bhishma Parva, stands as its most celebrated discourse. The Bhagavad Gita, a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. It explores profound questions. What is the purpose of life? How should one act in the face of moral dilemmas? It introduces three core paths to liberation: Karma Yoga, that is selfless action, acting without attachment to results; Jnana Yoga, knowledge, realizing the eternal soul; Bhakti Yoga, devotion, complete surrender to the divine. Other philosophical discourses include Moksha Dharma Parva, Bhishma's teachings on liberation and dharma; then Vidura Niti in Udyoga Parva, ethical and political wisdom offered by Vidura. The Mahabharata teaches that wisdom is not confined to one path. It integrates diverse perspectives, allowing readers to interpret its lessons based on their own context. Now, here's the question: how do the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita relate to modern ethical dilemmas? Let us understand reflection of Indian society, politics, and ethics. The Mahabharata provides a rich reflection of ancient Indian society, politics, and ethics. Social hierarchy and relationships highlights the complexities of Varna, that is class, and Jati, that is caste. Vidura, born of a maid servant, is one of the wisest characters, challenging rigid social norms. Eklavya's exclusion, despite his skill, raises questions about social justice. Political insights depicts the workings of monarchy and governance. Yudhishthira's rule emphasizes dharma-based leadership. The dice game shows the dangers of unchecked ambition and flawed governance. Then ethical dilemmas. It explores conflicts between personal duty and greater good. Bhishma's vow of loyalty to throne versus addressing injustice. Then Karna's loyalty to Duryodhana despite moral conflict. The Mahabharata doesn't offer easy answers. It reflects the ethical complexities of life, where every choice comes with consequences. The question is, what lessons on leadership and ethics can we draw from the Mahabharata? It also has archaeological and historical validations. While the Mahabharata is often viewed as mythological epic, several places mentioned in its narrative align with real-world locations, supported by archaeology and history. Kurukshetra, believed to be the battlefield of the Mahabharata, excavations reveal ancient artifacts, suggesting historical significance. Hastinapura, identified with a site near Meerut in Uttar Pradesh, archaeological evidence includes painted graveware linking it to the Mahabharata era. Dwarka, Krishna's city, mentioned in the epic, submerged ruins of the Gujarat coast correspond to descriptions in the Mahabharata. These findings don't prove every event in the Mahabharata, but show that the epic's geographical and cultural references were rooted in reality. Answer this question: can historical evidence change how we perceive mythological texts like Mahabharata? It also has grounded realism versus Ramayana's idealism. Unlike the Ramayana, which emphasizes ideal characters and situations, the Mahabharata is deeply rooted in realism. Realistic characters. The Mahabharata portrays its characters as flawed and relatable. Yudhishthira, despite his wisdom, gambles recklessly. Bhishma, despite his principles, fails to stop injustice. Realism in themes. The Mahabharata deals with practical issues like war, governance, and moral dilemmas, while the Ramayana often focuses on ideal virtues and relationships. This realism makes the Mahabharata timeless. It doesn't prescribe perfection but encourages us to navigate life's complexities with awareness. Tell me which approach resonates more with you: Ramayana's idealism or Mahabharata's realism? The Mahabharata's historical and cultural significance lies in its ability to blend myth, history, and philosophy. It reflects the realities of ancient India while offering timeless lessons on life, leadership, and morality. Next, we will dwell deeper into its ability to hold such a vast and intricate narrative together. We have journeyed through the origin, structure, themes, and cultural significance of the unabridged Mahabharata. As we conclude this course, let's reflect on why studying the unabridged version matters. Its remarkable ability to hold a vast narrative together and its universal relevance to the modern life. We will also set the stage for the next course on key characters and their roles in this epic masterpiece. So, why studying the unabridged version matters? The unabridged Mahabharata is not just a story, but a living document, offering nuanced perspectives and deep cultural roots. Let us understand the nuanced characters. The unabridged version presents characters in all their complexity. Yudhishthira is righteous, but struggles with human weaknesses like gambling. Karna is both noble and tragically aligned with adharma. Krishna, revered as a divine strategist, is also shown employing morally ambiguous tactics. Simplified retellings often strip away these shades of grey, reducing the epic's richness. Let us see the cultural and philosophical depth. The unabridged Mahabharata reflects the collective consciousness of ancient India. It connects us to timeless values, societal structures, and the philosophy that shaped Indian civilization. One of the Mahabharata's most astonishing features is its ability to hold a vast, intricate narrative together seamlessly. Narrative complexity. The Mahabharata spans over 1 lakh verses, making it the longest epic in the world. Hundreds of characters spanning multiple generations. Diverse genre, mythology, history, philosophy, and governance. Structure as a unifier. The frame story, narrated by Ugrashaw Sauti in the Naimisharanya forest, links multiple layers of storytelling. Sub-narratives, such as the Bhagavad Gita and Vidura Niti, are seamlessly woven into the larger epic. This remarkable unity amid diversity is reflection of life itself, complex, interconnected, and constantly evolving. Can this structural complexity teach us how to approach and organize modern challenges? What is its universal appeal in modern context? The Mahabharata transcends time and geography, addressing universal human conflicts and dilemmas. Personal conflicts. Arjuna's crisis of duty mirrors modern dilemmas, such as balancing career and family, or personal ethics and professional obligations. Yudhishthira's gamble reflects struggles with addiction or misplaced priorities in leadership. Social and political lessons. The dice game illustrates the consequences of poor governance and unchecked ambition. Krishna's leadership shows the importance of strategy, adaptability, and balancing morality with pragmatism. Global resonance. The themes of war, peace, duty, and justice resonate across cultures. Philosophical insights from the Bhagavad Gita influence global thinkers from Gandhi to modern day leaders and management theorists. Now tell me, how can the Mahabharata's lessons on ethics and strategy inform personal and professional decision making today? This course has laid the foundation for understanding the unabridged Mahabharata, highlighting its origins, structures, and timeless themes. In the next course, we will dwell deeper into the characters who drive this epic forward. Understanding the characters like Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadeva as embodiments of different aspects of Dharma. Duryodhana and Karna as tragic figures shaped by their choices. Krishna as the guiding force, both divine and deeply human. How the dynamics between the Pandavas and Kauravas reflect familial and societal tensions. The role of women like Draupadi and Kunti in shaping epic's moral and emotional fabric. Philosophical and ethical insights through characters, that is Bhishma's vows and sacrifices, Vidura's wisdom as a voice of reason. The Mahabharata reminds us that while life is complex, it is our choices that define us. Let's carry this insight into our exploration of the key characters and their roles in shaping this timeless epic.